Hi, this is Chandru Shamdasani, and I will be speaking on critical multimodal literacy in the Indonesian context of middle school learners. I will look at some of the significance and the challenges. Every day, we are exposed to a myriad of texts. We read ebooks and newspapers, watch movies, listen to music, and play online games in now virtual environments. These provide us with information on how the world is represented to us, but also affect how our identities are created. In this brief presentation, I will define what critical multimodal literacy is, or CML. I will emphasize some of the significant factors. Why is it a relevant discourse today, particularly in the context of Indonesia? I will also highlight the possible challenges of its study and implementation. To start with, what is multimodal text? What is a multimodal text? Multimodal texts refer to text types, either print or electronic, visual, linguistic, oral, or tactile, or any communication through any sense that engages two or more modes, or semiotic resources for meaning making. It includes songs, poetry, art, sculpture, photographs, or video games, for example. Critical multimodal literacy thus refers to the ability to comprehend a message and examine the context behind its creation, and to pay attention to how the world is represented through various modes working independently or interactively, and how they assist in the construction of reality and identity. Why is it important in the Indonesian context? Firstly, the spread of digital media has enabled youth to extensively participate in the social and political activism in Indonesia. However, there is little appreciation of the critical literacy skills that are needed to examine, enable, or engage in such participation in the political or civic space. This is somewhat concerning, with Indonesia being the third largest democracy worldwide, with a population of around 262 million, and having many different ethnic groups with their own cultures interacting with national politics. Currently, about 88% of tertiary students are connected to the internet, um, and internet use is an integral part of the tertiary education process. Adolescents from the ages of 13 to 18 represent about 17% of all internet users in Indonesia, who will, in a few years, join the 49% of internet users who are youth aged between 18 to 25, with many from the lower middle classes. What are some of the challenges? Firstly, let's look at meta-language. While there are academics and theorists who contribute to the meta-language, there is lack of a comprehensive and unified language to talk about CML. This is due to the interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary nature of CML, which engages disciplines such as the sciences, psychology, philosophy, neuroscience, technology, mass communication, among others. These disciplines collide at different intersections to create a wide kaleidoscope of perspectives. Additionally, the lack of meta-language and the dynamic nature of CML might be one reason why curriculums may find its adoption problematic. Secondly, the lack of inclusion in curriculums. Consequently, highly multimodal texts have not been introduced for study in schools in spite of its powerful presence in the lives of daily youth. In the daily lives of youth. Critical multimodal literacy not only enables students to learn about cultural perspectives, but it also offers an opportunity to reframe a curriculum for a new century, and enables students to connect to the curriculum. In the Indonesian context, an examination of the curriculum suggests little formal uh, inclusion of visual literacy, let alone CML. I propose that it is probably inevitable that educational systems will have to be challenged to review this marginalization of CML, which needs to be pulled from periphery to the center. Next, lack of teacher training. With the change of curriculum, there is also the need to focus on professional development of teachers who may lack the necessary understanding, experience, and resource to effectively teach critical multimodal literacy in the classroom. Researchers suggest that there are insufficient resources and training for teachers to deeply engage in CML teaching and learning. In conclusion, how then can Indonesian middle schoolers not only learn to be literate, but to be critically astute to develop perspectives of their own about how their world is being represented, how their identities are being shaped, and why and by whom? Finally, in summary, as an analogy, perhaps critical multimodal literacy is about being able to look at oneself in the mirror, not to merely gaze at one's reflection, but to also discover the warp that is in the mirror and why it is there. Thank you very much. These are my references.